Two-tone and L-E-L-N-E-S-S-N. Yes, we are the very best.
$7 popping collars, eating shrimp by the dollar. Met some girls in Guatemala, now they trying to holler.
Now before they wouldn't bother, now I'm trying to be a scholar, cause she giving all the knowledge to me.
Knowledge to me.
Doing homework every night of the week.
Night of the week.
Like she chilling up at college with me.
College with me, but we cruising, man. Rolling up at 4:30. Kush same color as a Kobe Road jersey, or a throwback worthy. Giraffe ass high, fresh breeze just passing us by. Cause I'm cruising on a Sunday afternoon. I got my good shoes on, ain't got no bad news. Here's what you say to the lady. Let me squeeze you, oh, let me hold you, oh, let me squeeze you, oh, let me hold you. Why? Cause I don't wanna leave this party, baby, without you. What you waiting for? Hop in the ride.
Okay.
What you waiting for? Hop in the ride. So I arrive at a party at 9. I reside beside Sim. Think when we fly, time's on our side. But look again, then it's 11 p.m. Chalk it on the board. Time to sin. Let's begin. Hey, you kinda cute, and I got the loot to befriend both you and your girlfriend too.
You single Tim Jones?
Well, that depends. Just then she turned to a friend and she said,
I really like him.
Say word.
I really like him.
Oh yeah.
I really, 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 really like.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to JCT TV. I'm Papa T, and to my right, your left out there in TV land, we have the outstanding purveyor of the few, none other than JDX. How are you, JDX?
I'm doing very good,
Fantastic,
sir. And how was your week?
It's been splendid thus far, and you know the highlight is looking forward to the television show so that we can reach out and share the things that we've gathered during the course of the week with
Wonderful.
the viewers. We want to give a great big shout out to the chief engineer, Big Al in the back, making things do what they do, and as well Sky 13 opening the door so we can come in and sup with you and you with us, as well as our other corroborators, none other than M&M TV, DC TV, and BCAT, as well as HAP TV of Hartford, making it do what it do. We are so happy to be amongst you once again. We love sharing the information that we acquire that can not only increase our success, but increase the success of all what will adhere to the methods and techniques that we speak about. Mm-hmm. And knowing that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God, we bring you words. And the words this particular week is none other than Tenacious Aggression. With Tenacious Aggression being laid on the table, Brother JDX, what do you have to bring to the table concerning those issues?
Elder, you always come up with some amazing topics, and whenever you come up with those topics, it's always so interesting to know that we can do so much with them. And to be so tenacious at the things that you want to see happen in this world is such an amazing experience too, because every day you get up from sleep and you have an opportunity to face the reality of life, you have to have that drive to be so tenacious to go and challenge the system that you're living in, because you and I are fighting on all ends.
Indeed.
And our battles are not like ordinary people's battles. We are fighting both physical, spiritual, and mental at the same time. And plus we are fighting even our environment and those that are around us, and the whole system that is so oppressive to our people, and the time and the energy that they spend, and all those defense that we have to stand against to make us who we are today. I think we have to be very tenacious.
Indeed.
To really stand and to face the reality of our true self.
Indeed.
Because we as black, forgive me to speak colored, but as our people have to face the reality of life. There's a lot of challenge for us, and there's a lot of victories to be won, and there's a lot of fight to fight.
Indeed.
Because today we are not only fighting to win, to survive, but we need to remember our children. And we need to build a foundation whereas they can come back tomorrow and say, yes, my dad and my mom and my people really fought for us so that we could be where we are.
Indeed. You know, when you say that, that's so great because you're speaking generational.
Yes, sir.
Right? And a lot of folks are fixed on wealth today. One thing about wealth is that wealth won't necessarily bring you success, but success will bring you wealth.
Yes, sir.
Right? So the thing is that what we need to focus on is success. When you talk about an oppressed people or individual in regards to the oppressor, the thing is we have to look and say, did the oppressor do such a good job that the oppressor can now focus on success and leave us dwelling on being oppressed?
But you just brought something to my
Yes, sir.
attention. If we remember the story of Willie Lynch, he told you that if in case, as long as we have them fighting against each other, themselves,
Yes,
we
sir.
can sit back and relax and just let them
Concentrate
do-
on getting richer.
on getting richer. And that's where we are. And we need to break that wall of Willie Lynch and really come to the understanding that what we are doing to each other is just a game that was programmed in us so that we can continue fighting
I
against
love
ourselves.
the way that you put that.
Yeah.
That it was programmed into us. And the thing is that we have to be deprogrammed
Yes.
because it has been over centuries. So the thing is, it is almost a part of our DNA makeup at this point. So the thing is, we have to weed that out in accordance to Matthew chapter 24.
Weed it out.
We have to weed it out of the youth. The youth is the future. So what we must do in the process of weeding it out is implant knowledge and greater knowledge. Once we do this, we will begin the process of reprogramming the youth. And that sounds kind of harsh when you use the terms programming and reprogramming, right? But it's the reality of the situation. He who gets behind in a race must forever remain behind or run faster than the man in front. Because you have no way of catching up, no way of entering into the level of equality
That's a
unless you generate greater energy. And you must learn how to expend your energy more positively by building rather than destroying. In the process of righteously building, you will destroy that which oppresses.
Because the reality of it itself, as you said earlier, is the future we're looking into.
Yes, sir.
It is because our whole plan and hope is that our generation behind us will find a path that will be a little lighter. So if now you and I, we've been learning to break that wall of Willie
Yes, sir.
Lynch because we know how to divide it and we split it together, cut it apart and realize, but it's not benefiting us.
Indeed.
In the end, it's not benefiting us.
You know, brother, what we have to do, as I said before, is to focus on the youth. But when you say youth, right, something came to me just the other day thinking about the youth, and it said, you're a lot less patient about certain things now, and you've always practiced patience. And I said, oh, that must be the once an adult, twice a child. So I must be into my second phase of being a child. So I'm patient about a lot of
Yeah,
things.
it is because sometimes, just dealing with people, because even while I'm driving,
Okay.
you see the anger in people. People get frustrated.
Rage,
They have rage, right?
Yes.
And I always tell myself, okay, that's external.
Yes, sir.
Should I allow that external to penetrate my internal? No, that's that person's problem. I don't want to carry your baggage.
And let me tell you this too. There are some people that have utilized the knowledge, that have come into the knowledge of this, and they utilize it to punish people. Because they'll say, ha, look at you. You wanted to disturb me, and look at you. You're going to take that anger with you at least for the next hour or two. You know what I'm saying? And I'm good. I'm focused on the next level of business, positive.
No, but for sure, it's a fact. Because when you're looking at life and the reality of it, today, the people are frustrated.
Very much so.
And we're living in a world where everybody's on edge.
Yes.
And it is so easily to tap into somebody's negativity
Yes.
than to tap into the positivity. So you as the person who has the knowledge and the understanding of how to tap into both worlds, because by now, because of your skills of understanding or the wisdom of your understanding, that you know that person that you are going to get into contact with, you have to have that wisdom to see when the frustration of that person is portraying towards you, so that
Yes.
you can have the ability to break down that
That barrier.
that barrier that is gonna.
You know, the thing is that what we all must first set out to do is to reconstruct the planet on a positive plane.
Yes, sir.
And then we focus at our main target, which is the youth. I brought up the fact about the once an adult, twice a child. So even the adults that's entered into their second stage of childhood, they are our target as far as teaching and elevating them to the level of positivity to say, hey, this is what we need to do in order to achieve the things that we need to achieve today in order to be successful. Because success is the big item right now. Success is the big item.
But to acquire that success, as you continue stressing on it, I just want to bring one more word, because the whole earth we are living in is built on truth.
Yes, sir.
And truth is the reality of knowing the function of the things that is to take you from point A to point B.
Indeed.
Because when you don't have the knowledge of the fact of the thing that you are going to achieve, you still stay behind. So I truly believe that you have to come to the awareness of who you are as a human being.
Indeed.
And from who do you belong to, and so that you could really.
I'm going to interject here because you hit the nail on the head with that. And the thing is, as long as we all walk around walking on eggshells and saying that we're all the same, and this is one of the biggest deceptions and lies ever told.
We are not all the
black
same.
man is not a white man is not a Puerto Rican or a Hispanic man. We are all different
people.
So until the black man starts to live to be a black man and live as a black man, he's going to always be in a state of confusion. And he's going to be confusing even to those who surround him. You cannot take a dog and raise it as a cat think it's going to be a cat.
Never.
It's mathematically impossible.
And that's where we fall in short all the time.
Sir.
And I think the foundation of it is Christianity is the cause of making us think that all men are the same.
Yes. We're going to come back and we're going to cover that as well. Right now, I just want to send the folks off and let them know we'll be returning with the second part of our term, actually consolidating the two, which is tenacious aggression, right? We talked a little bit about tenacity, and the thing is that we'll cover it in detail, but right now, let's pay attention to some of our sponsors for the week.
Yes, it is, Dana. Woo! Woo! We are ready.
We started in protest of the cabaret law. Who can tell us we can't build for university?
Hello everyone, this is Lisa L with Caribbean Blend every Saturday 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. on www.flexfm.online. Tune in every Saturday. I'll be here waiting for you. Love you all.
JDX, it's amazing because this is such a comfortable conversation.
It is.
Because you are dealing simply with facts or truths, right? And we have spoke about bona fide truths, which has led into the term of aggression, right? And we're not just talking about the simple level of aggression because, as I said earlier, he that gets behind in a race must forever remain behind or run faster than the individual in front.
True.
Right? So in other words, you have to be aggressive, right, with your energy because everything is energy. So you have to be aggressive with it. And above all, not just aggressive. Aggressive alone is a great term and a great force. But when you put tenacious behind it, tenacious
it's like
aggression.
It's like a how you pronouncing the word? Propeller.
Propeller. Okay.
To dynamo you, to give you a push.
Yes,
because
sir.
that tenacious, you need it. Because in the time we live in today, we are far behind. In the whole, and it's our turn, because we need to come back to our true self.
Indeed.
Especially in that aggression, we need to take it with a force.
Indeed.
Because they said that truth is taken by violence.
Yeah. You know, the crazy thing is that they say that freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. So the thing is that let's sit down and have a dialogue and communicate with one another so that it can be done in a peaceful fashion, but at a tenacious and aggressive pace.
But at the end of the day, no man should give you that freedom, because you were born with the freedom. And a man capture you and put his power over you so that you can become his servant. So at the end of the day, when you have to take it back from him because he thinks he's a bully, I think you should knock him out.
Just take him out.
Yes, sir. Take him out, because aggression, you cannot, because he will always want to come back and take you down.
Take you down. You know, we're hoping, and we are hoping, because we're at that point now in time. You see all the different factors of nature and so forth. Like you saw this big smoke screen, and I'm going to call it a smoke screen, that the nation just went through, and who knows where else in the world went through this week, that you could actually smell the smoke.
Oh, yeah.
And where there's smoke, there's fire.
And you can literally breathe it in too.
So it became such a health problem issue that we were told and instructed to do certain things, and the closer you were to Canada, the more in-depth the decisions was made. Don't drink anything, don't cook anything, don't go outside without a mask. You know, there's particles in the air. And the thing is that what we have to do is we have to recognize these times, right? And we have to move in a fashion that's tenacious, brother. Tenacity is important.
It is. Because it's our life we're talking about.
Indeed.
Because when you come to defend your life, I think you should put your all into it.
Indeed.
Because there is no way that you should be timid to protect your life.
True. You know, we were speaking earlier on the set with Big Al, the chief engineer, and we were talking about the fact that I was on the television set, my second show, and the guests didn't show up. And I started entering a state of stir crazy or something. And I remember my parents. I was about to say, okay, we're later for this. Right? I remember my parents saying, whatever thy hand set out to do it with all thy might.
Do it with all of your might.
You understand
and I'm sure it came out successfully.
Very successful, because I stayed. And the thing is, the same way that I honor my parents, I want the youth of today to start to honor their parents. Regardless of what your parents are doing, sit down and have a dialogue with them, because no house divided can stand. So it begins at home. When it tells you charity begins at home, it begins at home. Let's get it together at home. And then let's sit together as a community and have a dialogue and speak about how we as a people can progress ourselves in a more positive fashion, so that collectively when we go to the tables, we will be in a position to actually impart intelligence, patience, and a proper way that we all can coexist, if that's what the folks are looking for. And if we can't coexist, how we can separate in a peaceful fashion and hopefully maintain the earth.
And I'll just take it from the part of the separation, because I don't believe in integration. I truly believe that after the 400 years was up, the children of Israel are supposed to be
part. Because we were talking about the alignment, right, of the books of the Israelites, or so-called Israelites, right, and how it aligns with the times that you face.
That we are living in, because we believe in all the prophets, as I was calling earlier on, and say that religion has divided so much that it makes us believe that we are all one. Because of religion, because we say we are coming from one God and we all have the same. No, we are coming from one God. We are not all the same. Indeed. Because aboriginally, you, the aboriginal black man, is the father of everybody else. And everybody else that is beneath you can never be as equal to you.
But you know, that's one thing that I said we was definitely going to get into with Tenacious Aggression as we return. People call religions, and they call them out, right? It sort of bothers me when I hear a Muslim of the Islamic faith speaking against Christianity, and when I hear Christians speaking against Muslims, when I hear Buddhists speaking against the Hindus, because my whole thing is this: if you're on your job, if you're really on your job, you're on point. You don't need to condemn the next entity because you only have time to pull in your people and give them the righteousness and the fulfillment of your beliefs and your structure and your faith.
Because that's supposed to be our job, because you, as a man of color, African descent, we need to know that we are the aboriginal people of the earth. Because every nation underneath the sun, when they want to know the beginning of man, they don't go to Europe, they don't go to Asia, they all go to Africa. And in spite of whatever they do, the DNA of the black man is in every other nation underneath the sun.
So you're saying one of the things...
So what we need to pull ourselves up, not with oppression, not with aggression, either with anger, but on the state of putting ourselves where we belong. Because we are the father and the mother of civilization.
So tenaciously, we have to aggressively bring our people collectively together before we can talk about sharing any time or elements with any other race.
I don't have time for other race.
Right.
My concept, as you always know, I take care of the birds over by my home.
Yes, sir.
And I always keep talking to you about those birds.
Yes, sir.
And I can follow every one of them. I have never seen a pigeon move with a dove. And I have never seen the little sparrows move with the...
When they come
parakeet.
Collectively, they're in their own set.
They're always in their own set, and they always take care of their own.
And things return to its original point at the end. So the thing is that you have now our youth is there going to the Bloods, the Crips, or the folks, or the other sets, because that's what you're supposed to be, of your own set, something of your own kind, right? So we need to give them things and entities of peace.
And there's always a balance, even though all the birds come together and eat.
Yes.
They're always in their own group, but there is always a balance. Now, that doesn't mean when we find ourselves where we belong, there is going to be any division. Every man has to go to his own roots tree, because that's where you belong.
Indeed.
And as long as we are so scattered among our own self and so divided,
indeed,
we are always going to be in the open field as a target to every other animals, because we become weak, because that's what the tiger and the lion and the hyenas are looking for.
But you're going to become weak in the process of being drained, of attempting to be something other than yourself. Anyway, so until you learn who yourself is and what your true culture is, because as long as you live, you will never, ever truly, collectively as a people, be successful attempting to live as the culture according to your oppressor has brought you under here in North America. You must return to the essence of your own culture. And then this way you can begin to communicate on a balanced level. You understand?
And that's the reality of life, because we all need that path. We all need to be on that path where we know we can feel secure within our own self. I am with my own, and I love my own.
Indeed. Because
that doesn't mean you will not love some other person.
Yes.
Love is something that is always there. You will always love somebody.
But you have to love self first.
But you have to love self first.
Positive, positive, positive. Wow. This subject matter went in a totally, I'm not sure, up a deeper situation on this evening's show. But I'm feeling it, and I really appreciate the things that's been said here, because that is something that is totally necessary at this juncture in this time. As we wound it up for the evening, is there anything profound that you would like to leave the folks with, besides thanking our sponsors for this evening?
I mean, honestly, perhaps what I would leave my sponsors with, as we a people, we need to come together. It's time that we have been in the wilderness for too long. If you read the story in the Bible where it says that the children of Israel was in the wilderness, and why they couldn't enter into the promised land, because they were murmuring against each other.
And they was carrying
And
the
they were
old ways taught by the oppressor.
And they were carrying the old ways taught by the oppressor, so that onto the first and to the third and to the fourth generation they couldn't enter. And today we have been in that area of onto the third and fourth of this generation
Indeed.
of people where we should break that barrier that is dividing us so much.
I agree, ladies and gentlemen. Everything into its own, and then we can collectively come together as a universe and a planet and communicate with one another and interact business-wise, you know, economically, so that everybody can enjoy the benefits of the other's culture. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are so glad that you came. Please return. You can subscribe down here below and continue to build and build and build toward a successful, righteous, and positive day. All my younger brothers and sisters out there, I want you to begin to stop looking so much toward the set. Get the set together first and exist in peace and harmony. No more strife, and let's build toward being able to communicate with the other sets and the other states, the other nations, and the entire planet. Success awaits us. Keep it coming, folks.
Peace.
Great job, brother.
Thank you, my brother. Always a pleasure.
Two-tone L-E-L-N-E-S-S-N, yes, we are the very best.
$7 popping collars, eating shrimp, $5 met some girls from Guatemala, now they trying to holler.
Now before they wouldn't bother, now I'm trying to be a scholar, cause she giving all the knowledge to me.
Knowledge to me.
Doing her work every night of the week.
Night of the week.
Like she chillin' up at college with me.
College will be, but we cruising, man. Rolling up at 4:30. Kush, same color as a Kobe Road jersey, or a throwback worthy. Giraffe ass high, fresh breeze just passing us by.
Cause I'm